In many ways, Invincible's blue suit functioned like a symbolic symbiote. At the end of Season 3, Mark states,
"Anyone else ever puts my family or anyone I love at risk, I won't hesitate to kill them."
This is what Season 3 had been building toward: a battle with Cecil, an intensifying rage, and a hero fundamentally shifting his moral philosophy. This reminds us of a very familiar story.
Good riddance.
And one that, in my opinion, mirrors the events of Invincible Season 3 as the blue suit begins to symbolize that moral shift. Spider-Man 3 released on May 4th, 2007. A year and some change later, on July 23rd, 2008, Mark Grayson donned the blue suit for the first time in the Invincible source material. I was ready for Season 4 of Invincible to wrap up this arc in a meaningful and lasting way. Invincible could have made the blue suit have a much more significant lasting impact on Mark if it had fully committed to the moral and emotional transformation it was building toward. For corruption arcs like this to truly land, there usually comes a moment where the audience realizes the character they've been rooting for isn't acting like themselves anymore. A moment where the ideology making them feel powerful finally pushes them across a line they can't take back. A mindset they can no longer indulge in without losing themselves entirely. The second crucial element is the dramatic resolution, a visual and emotional battle where the hero explicitly rejects this toxic mindset, turning the suit's removal into a defining life lesson. While Invincible does this in a way that works fine, the blue suit era felt rushed and had minimal payoff in its final few episodes. To see exactly why, we can take a look at two specific storytelling choices made in Spider-Man 3. The first moment is where we see our character cross the line. They do something unthinkable, that is, to their former ideologies. But for it to hurt, the audience needs to see the hero's true self bleed through immediately after. We need to see an instant flash of regret. In Spider-Man 3, this is when Peter accidentally hits MJ. The moment is important because he acts without thinking. He only considers his own interests. Driven by ego operating under the symbiote, engaging in a fight he knows he can easily win. And immediately after, you can see the real Peter bleed through the symbiote.
Who are you?
I don't know.
You can see the beginning of the final battle with himself, that this symbiote, this obsession with pride, ego, and enhanced power, must die. Now look at Invincible. Mark's absolute darkest moment in the blue suit is a calculated execution. A kill that, from a certain perspective, was entirely necessary. We know this because of Cecil. Following the kill, Cecil approached Mark in a calm, tactical way. He recognizes Mark's shifting principles and extends a hand, and he validated the brutal choice Mark made.
I know what you're gonna say, Cecil, and I'm really not in the...
You made the right choice, Mark. I would have done the same thing.
We know Cecil is the most capable of making judgment calls like this. We see it in his past experience.
A fraction of what it would have been. We won, Cecil.
Ask the families of the 17 if they agree.
And his bravery in confronting Omni-Man.
I almost died.
Great start. Nearly died 2,341 more times, and then we can talk.
No one has had to make more decisions for humanity than Cecil. Often, the hardest decisions may mean sacrificing lives. That's why he doesn't scold Mark, he reasons with him. When Cecil says,
I gave up sleeping years ago. You don't have to work for me, but when it comes to who lives or dies, don't make that decision alone.
It's a chilling confirmation that he would have made the exact same call. But why does this matter? It means that while Mark's new methods look darker on the surface, on a purely pragmatic level, he didn't actually make a mistake. Despite this, his actions still sharply contrast with his previous no-kill mentality. It doesn't feel like a breaking point, the climax of the blue suit arc that lets Mark know it's time to break the cycle. He doesn't look at his hands in horror. He isn't shocked by his own capacity for violence against a human. Take Mark's final act in the blue suit as another example. Brutally beating someone he was making an assumption about. Having your brother, someone whose morals you used to have to monitor, pleading to you.
Stop. Please.
It really lands. This build-up, Invincible showing no remorse after the moment. It feels like there's more that needs to happen in the blue suit before he confronts it. When you place the iconic church scene, side by side, with Mark calmly folding his blue suit and handing it back. It might be easy to label one as more of an internal battle, judging by the visual pain the separation causes. Both characters are fighting themselves, but in different ways. The divergence comes down to what these characters are actually fighting against. Peter is fighting against something that made his life better through strength, confidence, and no longer needing to consider the core principles Spider-Man lives by. What these two have in common is it's a lot easier to fight crime while not having to consider the lives of your enemies. The symbiote became an extension of all the qualities he should keep at bay: ego, revenge, selfishness, and a lack of mercy. Removing it isn't just changing clothes, it's painful, violent, emotional. He has to physically tear himself away from his indulgence, a mindset that corrupts his way of thinking. It feels like watching someone overcome an addiction. Mark was fighting his need to never kill, never sacrifice lives for the greater or good. His fear of losing his family, the mentality it will take for him to save the most lives, sometimes requires him to kill. While Mark had to reflect on his actions, he didn't actually do something bad enough to warrant him giving the suit back. While it's touching hearing Art guide Mark through the fact that he doesn't have regrets means he's not like his father,
You know who never came in here worried he was making mistakes? Huh?
maybe Mark's arc in this suit should have had him become closer to Omni-Man before getting rid of it so suddenly. The blue suit is supposed to represent a dangerous moral compromise, but the show never forces him deep enough into the dark for his redemption to feel like a sacrifice. When he hands the suit back, it doesn't feel like the painful death of a dark ideology, it just feels like he's moving on from a phase. And maybe that's all the blue suit is ultimately meant to be, and honestly, that's fine. Even looking at this strictly through the lens of the show, its symbolism touches on a form of corruption we've all probably faced. Those moments in our lives where we act out of anger or fear and end up barely recognizing ourselves. They do a fantastic job showing scenes where others have to question Mark's decisions. The ironic duality of Oliver being the one who has to step in and stop Mark from nearly killing, when Mark had scolded him in the previous season for lacking the value of lives after murdering the Maulers, is one of the best storytelling choices made with the blue suit in season 4. I made this video because when Mark gave his suit back, I was shocked. I wanted them to push this part of him further and make it last. The blue suit arc is a great piece of storytelling. I just think it had the potential to be perfect.